Okay, we are on a roll. I got this book from Half Price Books, $3, Birds and Blossoms, and I think I've done a flip through before on it, but just a ton of bird pictures. So there's the UPC on it. I'm going to get right to today's picture. So I am using the Crayola pencils still. I've been using those for the last few times here. On the teacup, I actually used turquoise, absolute zero, and blue bold. I feel like absolute zero is a harder color to use in the Crayolas. So I probably could have skipped it and just done less pressure on Blue Bolt. But at that point it was what it was. I was already going with it. So, all right, the roses. I am going to use yellow orange. Then my second color is orange. Then I've got red orange. And then I've got red. So they are colors number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you didn't catch it, pause, go back, listen and watch. You can do this. All right, so I used my yellow orange and did what you see here, here, and here. Then, because the closer you get to the middle of a flower when it's a rose and it's not fully opened up yet, the darker it's going to be in the center area. So then I went to straight orange to do just this bud area and then this one. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with the orange. That's my second color. You could just as easily do this in just 3 shades of whatever color. I just chose to go ahead and use 4 because I wanted to get all the way down to red. So I'm going to start here with orange. I am back to my circles just because I want to blend this good. Okay. So coming around here and blending into that first color and overlapping slightly. Now there's not a real big difference there, is there? So this tells me I might could have skipped that first color. Now I'm going to come back in with that first color and do some blending here. Maybe I won't do circles. All right. So now that I've gotten that much on there, I can see there is a little bit of difference. If I do right here, see the difference in those two? So it is there. It's just as I was blending, I just wasn't seeing that. Okay. And that's all right. It just means that my blend is okay. I'm going to rotate my pencil so that I can start using some of that lead and color off of the other side of the pencil. Get right up there next to the edge. I'm going to come in again with the lighter shade and blend. There we go. Now I'm getting rid of some of those lines. I don't know why I had so many lines. Okay, I'm going to keep coming through here. Lighter touch as I'm blending into that prior color. still leaving some of that white tooth to show, that white paper, so that I've got somewhere to lay down the next color. Trying to see how to get into this without turning the book around. Yeah, one of these days I may find a way to do a setup to where it comes over my shoulder and I can actually color things right side up. Not holding my breath on it, but that would be nice. Now, I am going to do a little bit of this color right here because that's actually folded around. See how they've got the lines close to the edge? So that leads me to think that this is already folding back downward. So that's why I'm going a little bit darker there on that edge. Okay, and just keep going. After you get that first row of color on, it's just overlapping a little and putting on the next row of color. See, it's blending fairly nicely. And if I forget to tell you, because a lot of times I do forget, I come back generally with my lightest color in a section and use it as a blender for everything. That way, instead of just moving color around on the page, I'm adding more color. If you've ever used a colorless blender and you see that you go back, okay, I'm going to have to move this, so. And you go back and you look and you think it looks lighter than before, it could be that you've moved the color around and therefore it's not as potent in one area as it was before. And so that's why it looks lighter. So, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit right through there. So if instead of moving the color around, you're adding more color, you're going to end up with better color in the long run. That makes sense. Just keep adding the color in there instead of moving it around. And again, I'm coming right up next to and overlapping slightly with that first color. And I'll do that with each of the colors as I add them. Okay, so that's basically for the first one. Now, because this piece is flipped and it's on an outer edge, I did it lighter. But I wanted to show you how I can still come through here and add just a bit. Okay, so then going to the next color. For me, it's orange, no, red-orange. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to blend into it. It's almost got the look of a pink. I don't know if you've seen those roses that are like pink and red mix, but I'm coming up in here and really spreading that color. Now, do you see how I'm leaving the V's? Leave those V's, because that's where I'm going to come back with my next color. And this is really going to turn out to be like a two-toned orangey pink rose, hopefully. Did I practice it somewhere first? Nah. I generally just kind of go for it. I just wing it and go. Okay, then I'm going to come in with my darkest color and get all these V's. See how it just kind of pushes it down in there? Yeah, just push that down in there by making those little V's darker. And that's where you're going to get your bit of depth. Now I really wish I'd brought my colored pencils in here. I did not. So, ooh, I've got the Crayola Color of the World. So, deep almond brown. That's different. I'm going to try something because I want this to be darker in there. And the red just didn't go quite dark enough. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my lightest shade. And start blending. Yeah, that dark might have been a little too dark, but I wanted it to show up on camera what I was doing. So this is my lightest shade. All right, now I did not get that right there. I do want that to be in there. And then go back in and blend. And that is what I would do to all of these petals. Okay, now because I don't want to run out of time, I do want to come over and look at the buds. I did color number 2, the orange, and I did just those bits. Then I'm going to come in with the red orange, and I'm going to come up into that. All right, that's as close as I can get. So I'm going to come up into that. Because remember, your buds are darker. They've not started deteriorating yet. The light's not been all over them as much yet. I would also come through and start with this one. Now I skipped the other orange on this, the middle one, because I'm doing the inner part of this bud, or this smaller rose. Okay, because remember we said these inner parts could be darker. I'm going to come in with the darkest, my true red. Just get in there some more. Get the darks down in there. Okay, then I'll come in with the orange and add some of that in here. Okay, this is my second shade. The first one I had put down earlier. All right, then I'm going to come in with my orange red. Go around all these little areas. That's down inside, so we want that to be a little bit darker. Just adding a little bit more in those areas. Then I'm going to come in with my red, deepen these up again, deepen that where it's tucked around, this where it's tucked down inside, okay. Then I am going to come in with my lightest shade and do all that blending. And you can see a lot of that pencil streaking is going away. There's nothing wrong with the Crayola pencils. I think it has to do with how you manipulate them and what paper you're on. This paper is not toothy. It's not got a bunch of ripples and stuff in it. So the Crayola pencils really do take to it easily, and they blend easily on it. Okay. So there's that. Now let me come back in with the deepest, the regular red, and finish off these buds. So remember, I want to do down at the very base. Then I'm going to come in with my lightest color. Even though I didn't start with the lightest, I'm going to use the lightest to blend these. And that's really it. Blend this just a little bit more through here. Yeah, it just bugs me when I leave that white showing through. There's many videos that at the end, if I'm going to finish the picture, I go back and do even more blending. But anyway, there you see that, and you see what we did on that one. So just keep coloring that way. Just keep going around your petals and interlocking your colors. Let them cross over so it's solid, and then you get lighter. You lighter, then you get solid, and then you get lighter again, and then the next color comes in. So what you're actually doing is solid, then you get light, solid, then you get light where it overlapped, and you get light up here. Then your next color is going to be solid, light where it overlapped, light again, solid, and then overlap. Then when you come back in with your lightest shade and you're blending everything, you should get that nice blend. Okay, so we got a blend that went the full length. And that's how you're doing your coloring over on the rose. All right, so I am just going to sit here and work on this, maybe bring on an audio book, and I will see y'all in a few days. Bye.